Why, hello there, everyone. Apparently, earlier today, the gameplay trailer for Rita Repulsa for Power Rangers Battle for the Grid released, and I somehow completely missed it because today was the Game Awards, and I just finished posting all of my reaction highlights from the Game Awards today, so if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check that out. And I didn't get online, I didn't go on my computer until right before the Game Awards was starting, so I just immediately went on Game Awards and I didn't see anything about this, so I'm going to be watching this completely blind. I'm really curious to see what her gameplay is going to be like, because I could easily see her being a zoner archetype, but I could also easily see her being more of a puppet archetype, like maybe she could use putties and be like a puppet character, kind of like how Zed has a putty move, but instead of the putty going away, she could have a putty that stays in, kind of like Eddie and Zato from Guilty Gear, for example. That's another example of a puppet archetype. I could also see her being a flying character, like maybe she could be the first character in this game with like an 8-way air dash, like Magneto from Marvel vs. Capcom. I could see her being any of those, or all three at the same time. So let's see. I know a lot of people were looking forward to her. I know this is a lot of people's most anticipated character for this season of DLC. She's the last character for this season, and so unless we're getting another season worth of DLC, she will be the final character addition. So let's watch it. And again, I don't know why IGN has this trailer of all channels. Okay, so we've seen how she looks before. Okay, hold on. She threw out a projectile. But it got reflected back. So maybe it's just so strong it needed some kind of drawback that it can be deflected back. I don't see how that would serve her in any kind of way. This is sort of supporting my initial theory, though, that she is going to be just a zoner supreme. Hold on, I think I saw her hover a bit, though. Yeah? That's not an 8-way air dash like Magneto, but she's kind of hovering like Princess Toadstool from Super Mario Bros. 2. Not the Lost Levels, but like Doki Doki Panic. That Mario Bros. 2. Okay. That looked like a side switch. Oh, it didn't get deflected back. It goes forward and then comes back, right? Like, obviously, there would be nothing to deflect it here. That's dirty. Okay, that's a lot better than I thought it was. Wait, hold on. That looks like some more flying stuff. It looks like she can have sort of like... I almost want to say some kind of flight cancel, right? But it might just be a move that she can instant air dash or instant overhead effectively. I'm going to rewatch this in slow motion as well. Okay, so she does have a putty move, and she has a second putty move as well, so she does have more putties than Zed. Dude, what is that janky hitbox? That putty that putty's behind him, and it still somehow hits him. Look at that hitbox. They put that in the trailer. If that's the kind of jank they put in the trailer, imagine the kind of jank she can get away with in the actual game. It's putty combos into putty. That was a cool transition. You know what that kind of reminds me of? That kind of reminds me of Break Divide, or whatever Sigma called it from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That. And in VCI, Sigma, his beam saber, when he attacked the air, it would sort of tear a rip in the fabric of space-time, and if you were to touch that rip, it would hurt you. So even though he was done slashing his sword, it would still leave a hazard in the air, which I thought was really cool. Sigma's really cool in that game, so this kind of reminds me of that, how it sort of looks like it tears the screen, or tears just reality. And I'm assuming it has a lingering hitbox. So that was a diagonal version of her projectile. That's... Huh, I was going to say that's very similar to Zed's throw that he can combo after, but then it looks like... I'm wondering... Whoops, accidentally made it full screen. I'm wondering if that's cancelable, right? Like, I'm wondering if she can cancel out of that and then combo off of it. If not, she's going to have to use some kind of assist, like a Scorpina's assist, if she wants to combo after throwing them full screen like that. She's saying the prepare the palace line. Dude, I feel like I've seen this super somewhere before, where she pulls them under with the putties. Where have I seen that super before? It has to be something like Marvel vs. Capcom, right? I'm not thinking of Shang Tsung. Not thinking of his super. Like, I think this is kind of reminiscent of, maybe it's Dormammu's, I don't know. If you guys know what I'm thinking of, let me know in the comments. I guess it is kind of like Shang Tsung's, but maybe it's just reminiscent of several supers, which is why I can't put my finger on one in particular, right? Because it's kind of like Dormammu's, it's kind of like, maybe Jetta's from MVCI. I think Jetta, he pulls you under something as well. Yeah, I guess it's just reminiscent of a bunch of things.
You have all made a terrible mistake.
Okay, let's watch this in slower speed to see if I can catch anything that I missed. So it's kind of interesting, she kind of ended up being all three of those things, right? Obviously, she's supposed to be a zoner because it looks like the projectile that goes out and then comes back is a big part of her kit. But also, she's not entirely a puppet character exactly, but she does have multiple putty moves, which is kind of like, in a way, it's not actually a puppet archetype, but I'm just saying, in a way, it is kind of accurate that she does have several putties. And also, it's not entirely accurate that she's a fight character, because she doesn't have fight, nor does she have an 8-way air dash. But to some extent as well, it does seem as if she has some kind of flight because of her being able to hover in the air, like Princess Peach or Princess Toadstool from Super Mario Bros. 2. So instead of just being like one of those archetypes in particular, she's kind of a hybrid between all three, which I think makes her more interesting because... one of the reasons I really like this game is that all the characters, they definitely have familiar aspects from other characters from other fighting games, but they're still original enough because each character isn't just a one-to-one copy of a different character. It's like each character in Power Rangers is an amalgamation of other fighting game characters, and you can kind of see the influences of other fighting game characters in the Power Rangers characters. But it's always more than just one. That's a throw right there, though, right? Was that not a throw? Huh. So I'm wondering if that's her normal throw or if the other throw was her normal throw, right? Because we were just looking at a throw and I thought that was the normal one. Maybe this is some kind of hit throw or something. I don't know. They do just walk up to her though. So this makes it look as if she's just doing a regular throw. And that's, you could definitely combo after that, which is what she does. Maybe it's just because I have Marvel vs. Capcom on the brain, but when she does these moves where she's summoning these pillars of fire out of the ground with her hands, it, again, it reminds me of Dormammu's animations. Yeah, so that move went under and hit him on this side, so if she uses it raw, this might be able to act as a cross-up against people in the air, like you could do some sort of ambiguous cross-under with this, maybe. Also, it's going, like, because it side switches her, it's going to have some practicality in the corner, or if you want to get out of the corner, you know, just in terms of how you want to position your opponent in relation to you. This like I said earlier, this is kind of interesting because it looks like she can immediately cancel her jump with this move, which would make it an instant overhead if you can do this against someone on neutral. It looks like it might be reactable, though. I was inclined to think that this might have been like a fight cancel because, again, talking about Dormammu has a sort of a fight stance he can enter, and if you want to do some of his more impressive combos, you have to do these really fast fight cancels, which are not easy. So I'm really wondering if they had him as sort of an archetype, or if they just had him in mind when designing her as one of the inspirations, right? Like, obviously, there are more than just one. Dormammu also has a full pillar like that as well. Yeah, so that's really cool. Like, she's going to have some pretty impressive-looking combos just with that, going forward and then back. Yeah, so then there's the Jank Putty. That's her EX. So it looks like her EX kind of takes her back. And then it looks like it's some kind of, might be a low because it's like a grounded projectile. So obviously with her being a zoner, they made her EX something that helps her play keep away. So that's not too crazy. She did combo after it though. It looks like if they're close enough, you can combo after it. And when does she land exactly? She actually lands way earlier than the opponent. So I bet even if you hit this at max range, you could at least plink over. You could plink dash over and then continue the combo. So I guess you could combo off of any kind of EX, which is cool because you can't combo off of Zed's EX unless I'm just overlooking that. Anyways, my point is some characters can combo off their EX, and some other ones, at least it's very hard to, but this looks like it's pretty easy to combo after her EX, which automatically makes it pretty good. It looks like she has very floaty jumps as well, which would be consistent with her being a sort of fight character. Once again, that putty hit the opponent, and the putty isn't even in front of the opponent. Look at that. Putty haymaker. So, I know I was comparing this to Sigma's Arc Divide, in which it leaves a lingering hitbox. Whoops, made it full screen again. I'm not sure if this is acting as a hitbox, though, right? Because it looks like... I don't know what she's doing there. Maybe it is some kind of setup, right? Because she just did a move here, which obviously did not hit the opponent because the opponent is knocked down right now. But what she does to OTG the opponent is she does this pillar. So maybe she set up the Arc Divide hitbox and then used the OTG pillar to launch them up into it to help juggle them. That would be cool. But then it's kind of hard to tell because as soon as the pillar goes away, the Arc Divide thing is gone. So I think that's what's happening there. Snap back. Yeah, and then of course, like this looks like a big part of her kit. So she has a low version and an anti-air version. It's interesting that the anti-air version goes up diagonally, but then still comes back horizontally. And then you can see that the player walks back at literally... It looks like her back walk speed is perfectly synchronized with the speed of the projectile coming back. So it looks really weird here when they're both moving at the same speed. Putty into Zord. Goldar in this case, which makes sense. That was kind of similar to Poisandra's move. The one that wall bounces. Yeah, her walk speed looks really slow as well, too, which makes sense. Again, being a zoner. Huh. It looks like this normal... I guess you can't really say Power Rangers has normals, because Power Rangers doesn't have special moves, and so it's like... If there aren't special moves, then that means everything is a normal, but everything's also not a normal if everything is a normal. But anyways, this button, I should say... it looks like this button sort of... This must have been the button she used to make that Arc Divide field earlier. But it's apparent here that it makes her move quite a bit. And I'm guessing the reason why we didn't see her move that much in the corner was just because she was in the corner. And so, like, she couldn't move to the right anymore, right? So that might have some interesting applications. What was the point of that putty? I was about to say, there's no way that one should hit. Like, this is getting ridiculous. But lo and behold, it doesn't hit, right? I don't know what that putty was for. It must be a cancel of some kind, right? It has to be a cancel. Why else would they do it? Yeah, I think that's what she's doing. Yeah, just like how Zed can cancel his, heavy block string into putty, I think that's what she's doing. What I am curious about is, I wonder if you could cancel this into putty, but have done something before the cancel to actually put the opponent in a spot where the putty will hit them. So you, like, move them over here or something by the time the putty swings. That's pretty cool, though. So that's definitely a cancel, because that's the only reason she would be using it here. And it does look like it was canceling an animation as well. Oh, I think that's her back throw. Okay, so the throw at the beginning of the trailer was her front throw. This is the back throw. So her back throw kind of looks like Zed's forward throw. Oh, she anti-aired with the Arc Divide. So not only does it move her backwards, but it also lets her anti-air with it. So that's an extremely defensive move. Pretty standard loops. Another side switch. She interrupted her own voice line. I don't need to watch the super in slow-mo. I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, so that is Rita Repulsa coming to Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. Did they say an exact date for her? December 14th, which is literally in 4 days. Okay, so I'm glad that I have been keeping up with this game, because now, finally, when a new character gets added, I won't have to warm up preemptively, right? Like, I'm already warmed up in this game, so I'm pretty excited to try her out. I'm still happy with my current team, right? So I'm probably not going to put her on the team permanently, but I still want to lab around and just try out some combos, just for, you know, the sake of doing it, just for fun. So this is Season 4. I didn't even think it was going to get a Season 4, but lo and behold, it did. So I don't know if it's going to get a Season 5. Obviously, that would be really cool. I would get it, right? I would buy it. And there are still several characters I would like to see in this game, and I know other people also have characters they would like to see in the game as well. So Power Rangers has so many different characters and rangers and villains and stuff, right? So that is literally an endless supply of potential fighting game characters. So I think they could keep on going for a long time, but who knows if they actually plan to do that. So anyways, my point is, even if this is the last character to be added, I think it is kind of fitting and poetic that it ends with a Mighty Morphin character, right? And not only that, but a character that people have been asking for since this game came out. You know, one of the antagonists from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, right? So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you will be playing her. Let me know if I missed anything or just anything else. If you have any questions or comments, right? Leave them in the comments. That's what it's used for, obviously. So with all that said, I will see you all later. So bye for now.